Welcome, everyone, to Progressive Discussions, the Suck It Up Sunday. I am James P. Madonna, your host, and I'm with my co-host, Alex the Beer Master. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great.
How was your week?
Oh, week has been awesome. Week has been good, especially when I had that food Friday with the hot dogs, with the, what's it called? With the small hot dogs are called pigs in a blanket. Delicious.
Pigs in a blanket. I've had that. I've seen that at the IHOP years ago. They were these were the breakfast sausage links wrapped.
Oh, it's still the same thing. It's just in a different. Yeah. You got the hot dogs and you got the sausage.
Yeah, wrapped in pancakes. Yeah, you had the tube steaks, the hot dogs. Yeah. Well, I've been getting at Whole Foods, instead of getting, the high quality Frankfurters, I've been getting they've been on sale too, the Irish banger sausages, which are very nice and even better in some ways. I've been getting the Anchor IPA flavored bratwurst sausages.
I never heard of them. Can I air fry them in the air fryer if I get them?
Yeah, they're flavored with Anchor IPA.
I've heard of Anchor Brewing.
Yeah, they're beer bratwurst, and they're really. I mean, between it comes from this really good smokehouse that they get all their sausages from. They get the Louisiana andouille. Cajun andouille, they get the Spanish chorizo, they get the all kinds of smoked sausage, different kind of bratwurst. But these were on sale, and I tried them, and I go, you know what?
Where is this at? At Whole Foods?
Whole Foods.
Yeah, I have a Whole Foods around here, so I'll have to stop by and get them. So Anchor
IPA bratwurst, and the others, the Irish bangers. Which is what they call their sausages.
And they're already cooked, right? I can air fry them. I don't have to.
Yes, they're already cooked. They just have to be heated up, and you could air fry them. And just be careful because they'll burst. Don't air fry them too long.
Just enough to give them a nice little warmness, and then eat them.
Well, you want that crisp. That you want them to be a little brown.
Mm-hmm.
You want to see that little brown streak going down the middle, and then they should be okay.
Then you know you're golden. Okay.
Right. Then you're fine. Then you remove them, and they should come out really good in the hot air fryer.
Mm.
Now, what I got here is actually, I wasn't kidding when I said the best bang for the buck. I got here from California. Hey, Ronnie.
Look, Ronnie, yes. I guess you're going to join.
You're welcome to join. I mean, I put the link on the Facebook Messenger group. You know. Anyway, greetings, Ronnie. Yes. Anyway, I got Ronnie Simpson. That is.
Yes.
Crane Lake Sweet Red. Okay, California dessert wine, and it tastes absolutely wonderful. It's flavored with cherry, raspberry, and plum, and it really is great. And also, I brought a Crane Lake on Ronald Tirio's show last Wednesday, but it was a different wine, but it was dry wine, but more like a Shiraz, a Cabernet. But this is outstanding. And guess what? Just like the other Crane Lake I brought on Ronald Tirio's show, this is also $4.99. So that's why I said the best bang for the buck.
Awesome beans.
You got a great wine, domestic wine that is very easy on the wallet, just like certain women are easy on the eyeballs and other women are harsh on the eyeballs.
Meaning they're not as attractive. I understand that. But see, the way I'm saying, I'm not going to do it again, but the way I say it is that it's what you like.
Well, I like a good bargain. I like a quality product at a low price. I'm a bargain shopper. My sister's like that too. She shops on the internet. She buys from Amazon Prime. She reads reviews, which is very important. Read reviews. Yeah, you probably got work tomorrow morning, Mr. Ronnie Simpson. I understand.
I have work, but I'm hanging out. But I have to go to bed. I don't leave here until 10 o'clock in the morning.
Oh. Yeah, you see, Sundays, I picked Sundays not because I really prefer it. It's because that a lot of people are busy, like on Fridays and Saturdays, and on the weekdays, a lot of people have work or school nights, so it's not easy to select Monday through Saturday.
So, Jim, for instance, I want your opinion. If I ever wanted to do a food review with you, possibly during the week, if I ever just said, "Hey, let me message you," would you do it or not?
Yeah, I could do an afternoon show if you have a day off during the week.
Yeah, I'm off Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and then back to work on Friday.
Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, I could very easily do that. We could do it here, or we could do it on Facebook like we did last.
We're golden. We're golden then. We're golden.
And just have it broadcast on Everything is Food. Yeah,
and basically we could do two shows. Basically, one for whatever day you want to do it, and then one on Sunday.
Yeah, because it doesn't cost you anything. There's no limitations to when you go live on Facebook.
Yeah, on Facebook, you could do whatever you want, but on here is one you have to worry about the minutes unless we decide to pay for it.
I got a lot of hours. I haven't done many shows. So I got like plenty of hours. I know
the one time you did it so many times, you didn't have any hours for 2 weeks.
Yeah, you know why? Because we were going live on Facebook on the food group.
Oh, on the StreamYard, but not on the Facebook itself.
Yeah, on StreamYard, I can go on Facebook's the page Progressive Discussions, or I can go on YouTube channel. But the thing is, to catch a lot of foodies and liquor enthusiasts in the afternoon, I would say going through the food group, broadcasting on the food group might be best to get people that are really into food and drink.
Right, that's true.
Because the Facebook page is mostly political, and the YouTube channel is mostly
Everything.
It's everything, yeah. But I don't have like, I mean, I don't have the following that. Well, I can't really compare because, when you're talking about Thomas Metal, Massachusetts Beer Review, Thomas Metal 75, and Ronald Theriot, you have very large following.
What about me?
And you too with your food show on Friday. You guys have a large following, but it's a following that is strictly about alcoholic beverages, reviewing them, and reviewing not so much food. See, you're more into the food than a lot of those other people. A lot of those other people are just into booze.
Well, that's why you see beer on my channel, because I am the beer. It is a beer channel. I'm not gonna say, hey, just don't. Yeah.
No, but you do beer reviews on your own.
Right.
But Friday is a food show, but people can bring their beers. But the problem is like what Ronald Theriot told me is it's one thing to review a great craft beer, and it's another to drink the whole case on the show and get totally intoxicated.
It's not worth it. I want to know what the hell's going on. Thank you.
And a lot of people, I see a lot of people, and a lot of them we both know of, that come on a beer review show, and some of them are already drunk when they come on the show. I could tell because they're all like, and then some of them will start off sober and give a really nice review, and then they'll get drunk. So it's like it's not supposed to be a place to hang out to get drunk and act ridiculous, which is what the hangout consisted of. That Thomas Metal 75 invited me to this app that's very similar to Zoom, but it's not recorded. You can't live stream.
I heard you can.
On that,
I don't know what you're talking about. What app is it?
It's an app where you can have up to 50 people on video. Up to 50 people. But I know with Zoom, I don't think you can stream.
You can go live, but you have to pay for it.
I gotta pay for. In that case, I have an itch right in the middle of my forehead.
So no, it's the truth. It's the truth. You can go live, but you would have to pay for it, because I've seen people go live on Zoom.
But the problem was, there was a little more than 10 people. There wasn't 50 people. But I had to get off because I couldn't understand what anyone was saying. Everybody was talking at the same time.
Well, no, I think you can go up to 100 people. I'm not sure, but I think you can.
Well, it was but it wasn't even close to 50, and everybody was blabbering at the same time. It was like noise. It was like it's like it gets out of control. It's not like right now. I hear everything you say. You hear everything I say. Let's say we have 6 people.
Right.
Now, 6 people can be a little horrendous because, there's some people are what I call cutter offers. They like to cut you off constantly and dominate the conversation.
True that.
And there are other people that will say what they have to say and then listen to someone else. And when they finish, they pick up. Not everybody does that, but okay, let me get to the topic of the show.
Good, dear James. Again, thanks for letting me be around. I enjoy doing it. I enjoy doing these shows.
I'm happy that you came around. I have here cancel culture crap and social media fascists, evil right-wing cult zealots. Now, cancel culture, or the woke organization, or the woke what do they call themselves? The woke
I don't know.
woke something or other. Well, let's just stick to cancel culture. It's what it is. It's neoliberal fascist censorship. It's the
Yes.
opposite, it's the opposite of neoconservative. It's anytime you have the word neo, you're talking about extremism. It could be extremism to the right. It could be extremism to the left.
It could be whatever. You're right.
It could be whatever, any kind of extremism, right? Now, now StreamYard is giving me a hard time. You know what?
What do you mean, StreamYard?
No, I try to I try to edit something in the show's information, and it won't allow me to do it. So it does what Zuckerberg does over on Facebook. It sometimes it works, and sometimes it screws up. Unless he purposely does that, so you pay for the professional
version of it. Yeah.
Yeah. So it could be any extremism. I don't like to use the word radical because, the Continental Army under George Washington, they were considered radicals, but they were freedom fighters too. Yes. So radical can be a good thing. So let's just call them extremists. These neoliberal fascists, what they're doing is they're applying censorship, just like the neoconservatives do, which they're a form of fascism, but more of a corporate fascism. And they find they don't want to offend anybody. They literally are obsessed with not offending anyone.
They don't want to hurt people's feelings. That's understandable.
It's like a pipe, but it's like a unrealistic pipe dream, because life is full of ups and downs, and you have to roll with the punches and suck it up and deal with it. And not everybody is going to please you. Some people will disappoint you, and in this case, they're finding fault in many silly things, like, let's say, Mr. Potato Head.
I heard about that. Go ahead.
Yeah. Let's see what we got here. Where am I? I got it written down. There's probably more. Mr. Potato Head, Dr. Seuss, Pepe Le Pew, the skunk, Uncle Ben's rice, Aunt Jemima, Mrs. Butterworth's pancake syrup. They're finding reasons to eliminate these advertisement characters and toys, because they're looking for something offensive, and they have found something offensive. But you know what? A lot of these products people grew up with for decades,
and they'll still grow up with it. They're not going to,
right? And they're traditional, and we're used to it. Like the stupidest cancel culture harebrained scheme is getting rid of Mr. Potato Head, because they don't want a Mr. Potato Head. They want a non-gender potato head.
Yeah, but they're not going to get rid of Mr. Potato Head. They already said they're not getting rid of it. I'm talking about people that own it.
What's wrong with Mr.? Mr. means male. Mr. means he's a man. So
and then you have Mrs. Potato Head, meaning that she's a female.
Right. Now, to have a non-gender potato head means only one thing: that they're trying to pander and kiss up to the both gay and particularly the transgender community. Now, the feminist movement is was obviously started by man-hating lesbians. I mean, if you look at them all, I mean, Grace Slick of Jefferson Airplane, the famous rock singer Grace Slick, said on a talk show that that feminists are ugly women who can't get a man. And you know what? If you take a look at all the famous feminist leaders, she's absolutely correct. And it's a power thing. It's all about power. The neoliberals, the man-hating lesbian feminists, the
in reality they don't hate them. They're just doing
the racially motivated lobbying groups that demand special treatment. It's all about power. It's about power.
And they want the man to get more special treatment than the woman. That's stupid.
They want to destroy heterosexual relationships, and they really hate men. So they started the feminist movement and broke up a lot of relationships, a lot of marriages, because of they're trying to make women so independent that they have no desire to have a man. And this is what they do. It's a power mind game. It's a power grab. And the same thing goes for the racial organizations that demand special treatment. Now, personally, I refuse to get to the back of the line and have people cut ahead of me for any reason. It's just too damn bad. First come, first serve. Finders, keepers, losers, weepers.
True that. And if you want to be nice once in a while, that's fine. But then at the same time, they might take advantage of the next time they see you.
Yeah, like let's say I'm on a crowded bus, and an elderly man and woman come onto the bus while everybody is seated. I would stand and hold the bar, hang on to something, and stand and let them take my seat. You know,
because you're a nice person when it comes to the older people.
Yeah, especially, let's say if the lady had a cane, you know, and she was using a cane, and you know, and he was a little hunched over, and you know, they were up in years. I would have him take my seat. Now, only because of compassion and empathy for them,
right?
You know, out of compassion, to be nice, you know. Not because somebody says, "Hey, you people, give up your seats for them." It's a new law. It's a new federal law. Give up your seats for them. No. Now,
is that happening, or are you just saying that?
No. It can get to that. What I'm saying is, like, in other words, listen, years ago, the career counselor at Workforce, which is connected to unemployment,
okay,
this is a couple of decades ago, he says to me, "You're at the bottom of the barrel when it comes to government benefits." And I says, "Why is that? Why is that?" "Why? Because you're a single male and you're Caucasian. If you were a woman, if you were a single mother, a female of color, you qualify for absolutely everything, everything."
Wow.
I go, really? That doesn't seem fair. I says, I really, that really pisses me off. I mean, whatever happened to real equality? Whatever happened to equality? Do they want equality, or is it a power grab? They want power. So, so that's what's going on with this cancel culture. It's a power thing. They want to see how much they can get away with. Oh, what do you got there in Alabama? You got a statue of General Robert E. Lee and Stonewall Jackson. Tear it down, tear it down. Hey, first of all, those are historic monuments, number one.
And you don't have to like them. Don't go looking at them if you don't like
look at them. First of all, they're historic monuments. Second of all, it's part of Southern culture. Okay. Third, it's educational for children.
True that.
The children have history books in school, right?
Yes.
Well, all these historic landmarks, whether you like them or not, are educational.
So even if you take them down, they're still going to be in our life regardless where you slice it or not. So,
It's no matter how you slice it, it's still part of American history.
yeah. So you can take them down all you want, but in the end, someone's going to still see them. So sorry to disappoint. You're basically ruining something for no reason. There's no escaping it.
No, there's no escaping. It's not going to go away. It's still. I mean, you could keep it. You could keep it a secret from children, but when they get into high school and then college, they're going to start seeing things on the internet,
Right.
that they were never taught in school. You can't escape the truth, because sooner or later you're going to get exposed to the truth.
True that.
It's going to hit you in the face. It's going to be on the tip of your nose. It might come soon. It might come later. So
it doesn't matter. It's going to come sometime in the future.
Right. So cancel culture is crap, and the social media, of course, are fascist because they don't want to offend anybody either. You can't speak your mind on social media. I mean, yes, it's a privately owned company. That's true. But guess what? The CEO of Twitter and Mark Zuckerberg and the CEO of YouTube, these people are not above the law. We still have.
They got sued, didn't they? They got sued.
Yeah, we still have the First Amendment, and and your opinion is your personal property.
Through that.
Yeah, but they still punish people for speaking their mind, and
that's why these things are getting. That's why these people are getting sued.
Yeah. Now I don't care. I don't care if somebody is a pro-capitalist, flag-waving conservative, and they have their opinion. They have a right to their opinion. Now you don't have to agree with it. You don't have to listen. You don't have to listen to it and watch their video, but they have a right to it. But also, they don't have a right to censor you. And what's happening is, anytime you run into the neo-conservatives or the neoliberals, they both try to drown you out or over talk you and cut you off. They try to censor the other side because they think they're right, because they say so.
They think they're better than the other person.
Right, but there's no intelligent debate going on. No one is scientifically debating anyone else with proven facts. Show me the facts, and maybe you could persuade me a little bit to come over to your side. But if they resort to name calling and they're not showing you any facts, then it's like a child, like two adolescents going back and forth.
Through that,
it just doesn't make any sense.
So what happened to Zuckerberg and the YouTube people? They got sued, and we don't have to worry about them anymore, or what's going on?
I don't know what happened with that. It seems like everyone who's guilty of something wrong or guilty of breaking the law, it seems like no one is being held accountable. Even today, how come the IRS is not nailing Donald Trump to the cross?
They probably didn't find the truth on what he did years ago, maybe. Or I mean, he might owe.
Well, it seems like all these investigations being done, it seems like they're taking their sweet ass time. I mean, there's a lot of investigations going on, but they are really taking their sweet ass time. But if a regular working stiff, if a regular Joe Sixpack working stiff does something, they'll arrest you right away and throw away the key. Okay, but if the rich do something, it just goes on and on. It gets delayed, and they procrastinate, possibly for months, for years. But if the little guy who has the tax burden, because the rich don't pay taxes, they don't pay their fair share. So if the little guy does something wrong, forget it. You'll be arrested immediately. The IRS will come after you. I mean, The only time they went after somebody wealthy is when they arrested Martha Stewart, because she owed like $40,000, which is a drop in a bucket at that time for Martha Stewart.
Wow.
They arrested her. I think they wanted to make an example of her for some reason, you know, but she could have paid it. I'm sure if Martha Stewart knew she had a choice between paying the government 40 grand and going to federal prison, I'm sure she would pay the 40 grand.
Is she still in jail?
No, she got out years ago. But the point is, she had to do time for income tax evasion.
Wow.
And, you know, but I'm sure Martha Stewart would pay what she owes the IRS. But for some reason, they wanted to make an example of her. But it seems like that's the only time the government ever stepped up in a timely fashion and brought rich people to justice. You know, it really,
wow.
it is. But they're getting out of hand, social media, with censorship. I mean, my friend Mick Von Raven, he told me he's in Facebook prison for 90 days. I go,
wow.
Really? I said, 90 days? Isn't that 3 months? 90 days? What did you do? He didn't quite explain to me what he did, but I mean, that's pretty bad, 90 days.
Yeah, but you were only in Facebook prison for 2 or 3 days.
Well, the worst I was ever in is for 7 days.
Oh.
You know, and so this is what's going on. I refuse to walk on eggshells. I refuse to bite my tongue constantly and have a fake smile on my face, a grimace. And then it'd be like Barney the dinosaur. I love you and you love me.
Yeah,
it's phony. It's being a phony. I rather have people that are honest with me, and I rather not walk on eggshells, like worried about somebody getting offended. I mean, you know how many severe problems this planet has? You know, that's worth getting aggravated over and protesting over, compared to all this silly crap with Dr. Seuss, you know, and Aunt Jemima, Mr. Potato Head, Uncle Ben's, and so on and so on and so on. I mean, and Pepe Le Pew. I guarantee you the feminists were responsible for giving Pepe Le Pew the axe, because it's a male, it's a very horny male skunk trying to seduce a very attractive female skunk. But if Pepe Le Pew was gay, everybody would be celebrating him. Oh, how wonderful Pepe Le Pew is. Oh, but because he's a straight male skunk that's always trying to get laid, they demonize him. He's no good. So I can assure you the man-hating lesbian feminists were responsible for giving Pepe Le Pew the axe. You know, they really were. I think it's obvious. It's obvious. It reminds me of Andrew Cuomo. He never raped anybody. He never. I mean, he was a single guy that was trying to get laid. He was a gentleman.
You're talking about Governor Cuomo. Okay.
Governor Andrew Cuomo of New York. He wasn't using foul language. He wasn't fingering, you know, diddling any of the women or fingering them or telling or
he's still governor though. He's still governor. But
he wasn't propositioning the women for sex or anything. He was just trying to make a date with them. So
that's all she's doing. Yeah.
Big deal. The guy is divorced, right? Or widow. I don't know, widower, or I don't know.
I mean, I understand if you're governor and you're cheating, then that's a problem. But if you're just a normal guy and you're
no, he's a straight single guy that has daughters from another marriage, or a previous marriage, and he said he's lonely. He doesn't have anybody in his life, and he just you know. He just wants to meet somebody. So
That's
what?
all it is.
So what? He likes younger women. Big fucking deal. He likes younger women. Big deal. A big deal. He's trying to make a date with them. He's not raping them. He's not telling them, well, if you don't go out with me or go to bed with me, you're gonna lose your job. He didn't do that.
As far as we know, right?
He didn't say so far. Knock on wood. So far, he didn't say that.
Right.
So far, but it's possible that all these women were paid off. Who knows? Maybe Donald Trump's people paid them off.
Who knows?
To get the Republicans are trying to get rid of Cuomo. Maybe they paid these girls off.
Yeah, but he's a Republican too.
No, he's Democrat. Andrew Cuomo, he's Democrat.
Oh,
yeah, but it has to be thoroughly investigated by a third party, unbiased person that has to call it straight down the middle. It can't be anybody who's biased, showing preferential treatment for women. Like the investigator is female, but she's very good at what she does, and she's thoroughly investigating this. Like all sexual harassment cases should be thoroughly investigated, even
just to make sure if they're bad or good. Right. That's
right. Now, if a man that works in a company is single, and there's a very attractive female that works in the same department in the office, and he compliments her on her outfit, or he says, "Would you like to go to dinner?" or something like that. If he's not her type, she'll go to human resources and get him fired for harassment. Now, that's not harassment. Harassment is something far worse than that. Being a gentleman and being nice is not harassment. Okay. All a woman has to do is simply say no.
And that's it. Thank you for your time, and you move on.
Or thank you, but no thank you. I have a boyfriend, or I'm engaged, or I'm married. Now maybe she's lying. Maybe the guy's not her type, which is all right, But just say no, thank you.
Or she's not, or she's afraid to tell you that she likes you, so she. Yeah.
Well, then that's up to her to make up her mind in the future. But if she says no, and the man, in a nice, normal way, says, "All right, thank you, have a nice day," and that's it, and he doesn't bother her anymore. Now,
unless she goes up to him again,
right. Now that's not sexual harassment, because harassment is if he keeps bugging her, he keeps approaching her. Come on, go out with me. Come on.
Then the girl should have a right to actually go to human resources and say, "Hey, this person's harassing me."
But what's happening with these companies? They're such pussies. They're such spineless pussies. They're afraid to say no to anybody. What they're doing is they're firing the man just based on him being a gentleman, asking her to lunch or something. It's really, really an unfair double standard. This whole feminism crap is part of the cancel culture, and it is a complete hypocrisy and a double standard. I mean, women can talk about sex with their female friends worse than men. They can talk about it worse than men. They could, just like the Salt and Pepper can make a lot of money off of that song. Let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me. And then they did another song called Push It. Push it real good.
Yeah.
Push it good. Da, da,
I've
da,
heard of this song.
da, 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 da. Push it. Ooh, baby. They can do that. But if a man writes, when the Two Live Crew did the song "Me Too Horny," me love you long time.
Yeah.
They made him look like he was a pervert. They say, how
people are weird.
Oh, how disgusting he is. Oh, because he's a guy. But women can talk about sex. They can write songs about it. They can talk more perverted than any man alive. But it's fine. But they want equality. I see unfair double standard here. I see hypocrisy.
What's that mean, hypocrisy? I've heard of it, but
Hypocrisy is when let's say you go out to dinner with your friends, and one guy is making fun of some of his friends for being cheapskates.
oh,
And meanwhile he won't chip in for the tip, or he tries to stiff everybody with the food bill. In other words, he could be cheap. He could be the cheapest bastard who ever lived, but then he calls other people cheap. See, that's an example of hypocrisy. It comes from the word hypocrite.
oh, it's another spin. Okay, I got you.
Yeah, or the word double standard is also connected to hypocrisy. Like don't do as I do as I say. Like,
Yeah, I've heard they're saying
you're not setting the example.
Right.
You're setting the wrong example. You expect others to abide by the rule book, but you don't abide by it. So that's pretty much what it is. Ronnie Simpson, are you still with us?
And I think my brother's going to bed. I'm going to say goodnight to him real quick.
Oh, go ahead. Say goodnight. I'll play a little. All right. Now, we could be seen. We are on Tumblr. Progressive Discussions on Tumblr. Progressive Discussions on Facebook, as well as YouTube. I used to be on Twitter, very well established, but they terminated my account because I was giving my honest opinion during the Democratic primary debates. I gave my honest opinion about the 2020 campaign, about people like Amy Klobuchar, Pete Buttigieg, so on and so forth, being corporatists, which they are. Joe Biden, I bashed him too for being a centrist, a corporatist. And I was supporting Democratic Socialist Bernie Sanders. And yes, that's why I have a red beret on. And they terminated me wrongfully. I was censored by the corporate fascist machine of Twitter. And I had a very established account. But otherwise, I could be found Facebook, YouTube, and Tumblr. And my Tumblr page is growing very fast. So is the Facebook page. And of course, I have been on YouTube doing these internet talk shows, these progressive shows since 1995. On occasion, I can also be seen on occasion, Wildcard Wednesday, Thomas Metal 75 YouTube channel, which is about craft beer review. It could be wine, it could be hard liquor. And occasionally I can be seen on Ronald Tirio's liquor review live stream shows. Sometimes he does a political show that I'm on. It's Tirio, Theriot, Ronald Tirio. Now, he also, don't forget to catch his very early morning show called Dawn Busters. If you want to get educated in history in general and in everything about fermented beverages. He is the go-to man to be educated by. Now, the people he works with are classy, intelligent reviewers. They're not booze hounds. They're not alcoholics like the others. So that's that. So where's Mr. Alex? He's taking a long time to say goodnight to his brother. So anyway, let me get into the subject of the evil right-wing cult zealots. These are people who claim they're Christians, but they're not. They're counterfeit Christians. They're really part of a cult because they don't really go by the Bible's definitions. They make up their own rules to suit their own selfish or evil or greedy agenda. They have an agenda or agendas that are non-Christian. Okay, that's why they are a cult. They do not follow the verses of the Bible, the Word of God. Therefore, they are a cult. But they are wolves in sheep's clothing. They pretend to be Christians, but they're not. They're simply counterfeit Christians. And everything can be judged not by what you hear, what they say, or what they print, but by their fruits. Everything is judged by their fruits. And the fruits of the right-wing evangelical counterfeit Christian cults are not godly at all, not the God of the Bible. So everything that they are about, all the agendas that they promote are wicked. Profit before people and the planet. And Alex, I was just filling the people in for the last topic, which is the evangelical counterfeit Christian cults that pretend that they profess the Word of God, but actually they use the Bible as a front to hide behind and promote their evil agendas, like greed, not taking care of the poor, letting the poor die, not doing anything for low-income people, the bottom 98%, which is mainstream, not caring about them, and only working for the top 2%. Now, speaking of them, I was reading an article, and I saw it on CNN, that not only is it the top 1% of the population or the top 2%, but the top 10% of the highest income. They have all been exploiting the pandemic and doing very well profit-wise because of the COVID-19 pandemic. So they've capitalized on the pandemic.
Who capitalized on the pandemic?
Yeah, the rich that own businesses, corporations. They have, they always have to make money. Like, I give you an example. What was that hurricane that hit when G.W. Bush was president? It hit Texas. I
don't remember, but we did have a hurricane. We did have a hurricane in 2012, I believe. And that was a
big hurricane where in New Orleans, where the people that own homes and the poor, they were flooded out of their homes, and they had to go somewhere to in the Gulf Coast. People had to go somewhere to live, to get out of the storm. So they tried to get into Joel Osteen, the TV evangelist, Joel Osteen's mega church, and he won't let them in. Here's a guy who makes hundreds of millions of dollars, okay, off of donations, a prosperity preacher, but he won't let the poor come in his church for shelter. His big.
Well, that was wrong.
Yeah, he lives in a mansion. He's got a private jet. He's got this huge church. He won't let him in. Okay. All right. Then what happened was they finally put the people in the New Orleans Superdome to sleep, camp out in there. And, they were saying, people were saying, activists were saying, those poor people have to sleep on the football field of the Superdome, and in the Superdome, we should really help them. And then Barbara Bush says, it's a vast improvement from where they used to live. In other words, she was playing Marie Antoinette, let them eat cake. And then, so then eventually Joel Osteen let people stay in his church after he got a lot of pressure.
Wow.
From the media, But anyway, hold on. Corporate Pigs is right. Nina Yordi from the Ocean State of Rhode Island. Fuel costs are up. Fuel costs are up. That's right. Yeah, and you know what? They're high in states that have self-service gas stations. Now, if they don't have to pay people to pump your gas, like people pump gas here in New Jersey, then why are they paying so much more per gallon if there's no staff, no personnel to pump your gas? The cost should be lower, right?
Are you saying it's lower here than it's?
It's higher. Like if you drive into Connecticut and throughout New England, or you go south, like into Maryland, Virginia, whatever. There's self-service gas stations, but the price of regular gas is a good deal higher than it is here. But we have people pumping the gas. Now you see what I mean? It's a racket.
That is kind of stupid.
Total racketeering. Now getting back to the storm, under a Republican administration, the water. The spring water that was provided for the homeless people after the hurricane, they weren't giving it to the poor. They were trying to sell the drinking water to the poor. You believe that? How despicable that was? The people are homeless, sleeping on the fields, on the AstroTurf in the stadium, and they were being sold drinking water. Now that's under G.W. Bush. That's under Republicans. Now you see how they have to make a profit for every damn thing.
Yeah, but we're in the Democrats now. We're under the Democrats.
No, it wouldn't be like that now under Joe Biden. But so these are hypocrites. These are people that profess to be Christians, but they're not. They're closer to being satanic than they are to being Christians, because you have to look at the fruits that the tree bears, and you got to look at their actions.
And I want your opinion, James. Do you think we might have to get the dividing rods maybe in the?
Oh, I got them right here. We will go to the dividing rods.
Awesome beats, but I want your opinion before I have the dividing rods opinion. I'm curious. Do you think Joe Biden will be president up until 4 years? I think he will be. I don't know to believe what's going on. They're saying, he's saying, he fell on the steps. I don't know if that's true or not, or he was just faking that. I don't know.
Well, we'll see. We'll see if we'll ask the divining rods. You just gather your deep questions, or even not so deep questions, and we will do the divining rods.
How did you know I was going to use the divider rods? Did you read my mind or something? How did you know that?
Well, because you like them, and I knew you were going to bring it up.
Pretty smart. I like it. Looks like you have to get some more beer.
What jabronis out there in cyberspace use copper divining rods and mysticism during a live stream show that you know of?
Nobody I know of except you.
It's good. I'm just spanking my mug. You've been a bad mug. Bad mug.
You know, James, you could have been a good actor too. I don't want to be mean, but
I can act, but it depends on the role. I have to read the script.
right. Were you ever in a movie? Were you ever in the movies?
No. I was never in a movie, but I know if I ran as an independent progressive for Congress or something, I will be much more outspoken than Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. She's actually too nice. I will be much more outspoken. And
would you ever get into politics itself?
Well, nowadays you have to have a weapon on you. You have to have a weapon on you because of all the lunatics that are out there now.
Oh yeah.
You have to get a concealed carrier's permit.
True that.
Yeah, but I would get a 45 or maybe even a 44 Magnum.
Oh, like Clint Eastwood.
Like Dirty Harry Callahan. Yeah, Clint Eastwood. Make my day, because if somebody tries to take me out, I want to make them explode in midair. I want to. I'm a real Sicilian. I want to see them in pieces. You know? Yeah, I would. So I might go for the 44 mag. I've held a 44 Magnum in my hand, and it's heavier than a lot of guns, but to me it's like a feather,
Oh,
and then plus if some scumbag is in front of you and you pop him, you put a hole in him, and you'll get his buddy behind him. I think with a 44 Magnum.
yeah, but you don't know if that person was buddies with him. Then you might have killed an innocent.
Well, if he's part of a group that's, let's say, that's trying to beat up and rob a poor Asian person, you know, like the poor souls that are being targeted nowadays, and you take out your 44 Magnum, you'll be able to get them all.
Wow.
Maybe you might take two. You might have to spend 2 bullets.
Wow.
And then I would send the bill to their family.
Wow.
I would send the bill for my ammunition to them. Actually, I think that I think that what's going to happen is, if it gets worse than what it has been, there's going to be more vigilante groups being. I would not blame them. Like if the Asians.
What do you mean vigilante?
Vigilantes are like the boys. Hey, the boys, Alex. The boys are gonna come and pay him a visit.
Oh yeah, the Italian way.
Now the boys are gonna pay him a visit, and then you might see some legs broken, some heads cracked. You know, I bet. Like,
why? Because
the cops are not. I mean, you saw what happened. The captain of Cherokee County, Georgia, he was showing sympathy for the shooter. He was saying, "Oh, he had a bad day, and you know, he has a sex addiction, all excuses." Why? Because they were Asian. So in other words, because the captain is a Southern white, and the gunman, the murderer is white from Georgia, and they're Asian from another country. So what is that? That makes them less of a person than him, or the
no, everybody's a person, no matter where you slice it.
Yeah, there's a lot of racism in the South, and you know what? And all these people that refuse to social distance and wear their masks and sanitize their hands, and they're very rebellious. A lot of them.
No, but you see, the thing is, when I go to a place, when I'm at work, I don't social distance most of the time. I social distance when it comes to people I don't know. Let's make that clear, because you don't know them. But I always wear my mask now.
See, you got the
Always.
mask on, right? But you know, it's like a lot of them, the rebellious, a lot of them are from the South.
Oh,
I
in the
think,
beginning, don't worry about it. The South might be crazy too, but in the beginning, I'm still against the mask, but at the same time, I'm still going to wear it out of respect to people, until this Corona thing is
well, I wear
solved.
it. I wear it for me, and I wear it for
And
others.
for the other person. That's what I'm saying. Just in
Of
case.
course, believe me, these new variants, these mutations are really bad. They said that uh, let me tell you how many variants there are.
Probably 1,000.
Oh no, not 1,000, but there's plenty. There's not only the UK variant from the United Kingdom. There's not only that, which is bad. There is now the Brazilian variant,
Wow.
and Brazil has it really bad, worse than any country in the world, I think. There's the
Wow.
Brazilian variant, UK variant, the South African variant.
And then we have ours. And we have our own.
There's the New York variant now, and there is the California variant. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait. Yeah. California, UK, South African, Brazil. There's 5 different mutation variants.
Wow.
5, and they're much more. They spread much faster, and their death rate is higher than the standard COVID-19. You bet your life I'm going to wear my mask. I got a lot of washable masks now. I'll tell you how many I got. I got at least
Probably a dozen.
7. I got 7 for wearing out. They're thick because they should be 3-ply material. So I got 7 that are pretty decent and I could breathe, and they're washable. And then I got 3 that are thinner that I wear if I'm doing housework. If I have to sweep the floor, the dust and everything, I put that one on.
I never wore a mask in my house.
Well, I got allergies. Hold on. Let me show you the one I wear in the house. The sky rockets in flight, afternoon delight. Yeah. Afternoon delight. Okay.
Keep it up.
This is the first one I got. It's a dust mask. It's not, it's not protective. It's a dust mask, but it's, it's 2 plies of material.
It's protecting you from the dust that you're doing.
Yeah, well, it's better than nothing if you go out. I mean, for COVID-19, I mean, it is a barrier, but it's not the barrier that the CDC is recommending now. But it's good for for dust.
But you have the mask that's going against COVID-19.
Yeah, they're inside in the living room. So what I do is, first thing I do when I come home, I put the groceries down and I go right for the kitchen sink and I take my keys, the bottle of hand sanitizer, and the mask. I throw it in the kitchen sink and I get the bar of soap and I suds up my hands. Then I suds up my keys, and then I suds up the hand sanitizer bottle, and then I suds up the mask. So I'm washing all these things. And then when I squeeze the mask out, I hang it up on the laundry rack, and that's where I got all the masks, hanging on the laundry rack to dry.
Nice.
And
so go ahead.
Yeah, I'm good to go.
So these variants, I should still worry them and have panic attacks because stupid.
Yes, yeah. The variant. Listen, we all talked about that. The only way to achieve herd immunity is with these vaccines,
and that's what we're getting. Yes.
That's what we're doing now. May 1st, all adults in the United States, whether they have pre-existing illnesses, whether they're 12 years, whether they're 18 years old or 80 or 90 years old, that everybody is going to be eligible to get the vaccine.
Yeah,
Unfortunately,
but we might be already dead by then because they take 50 years to.
unfortunately, this is what bothers me. You got to apply first. Now, how long is it going to take? The time you apply on May 1st for your vaccine, let's say you want to get one, like the one I like is the Moderna, that funky called Moderna.
Okay.
Because all the big shots got the Moderna. Biden, Fauci, and Harris. Now, how long is it going to take after I apply for me
That you're going to get your vaccine? I don't know.
get the first shot of the Moderna or the Pfizer? How long is it going to take? How long do I have to wait? I don't like this bullshit where I got to wait. Fuck that. You got that. Either they're making enough vaccines to go around or they're not making enough vaccines. I mean, they have plenty of time to manufacture enough vaccines.
Do that.
Really. And a lot of people are getting vaccinated now according to priority, according to their situation. If they're elderly, yes, they should. If they're frontline workers, like healthcare personnel, supermarket employees, all frontline people, yes. I believe all school teachers, you want your kids to go back to school so bad, everybody's all obsessed with their kid going back to school. You want them to go back? Make sure every teacher and every school faculty personnel that works in a school building is vaccinated. Get those teachers vaccinated. All right. Now you got frontline workers, you got school teachers, you got the elderly, including nursing homes. They're vaccinated. Then you got people with pre-existing illnesses. Get them vaccinated. Whatever their illness might be. Pre-existing, get them vaccinated. Even the people walking around like, get them vaccinated. Whatever. Because what's happening is a lot of people with what they call long haul COVID-19 symptoms, like in other words, after they test negative, after they survive COVID-19 and they test negative, some of them still have lingering symptoms. So they notice that when they get the vaccine, those symptoms are vanishing, which is very good news for them. Okay, these people I just mentioned collectively have been getting the vaccine at a rapid rate.
Which is good.
Which is very good. So now, May 1st, everyone is supposed to be eligible. Now, how long do I have to wait? You're telling me I'm eligible. May 1st. And I got to register for this fucking vaccine. I got to fill out a form. How long do I have to wait before I get my first shot? And hopefully they're not going to give me a placebo. They're not going to give me macadamia nut oil or something. Hopefully it's going to be the real vaccine because, I'm not very trusted. How long do I have to wait? So we'll see. We'll see what happens because when I watch the news, when a politician says something really good and they give you really great news, there's always a percentage of it that's bullshit. There's always some exaggeration. Now, what else was in the news is Washington, D.C., the District of Columbia, is in the process of trying to get statehood, which the many politicians feel is a great idea because they have a higher population than 2 states already. I think higher than Wyoming and Vermont, I think.
Wow, okay.
And they have almost equal population of 7 more states.
Wow. You're talking about Washington. Okay.
Yeah, the District of Columbia. So they have enough people. They have the population is high enough for statehood. And
What about New Jersey?
well, New Jersey's a state. No, New Jersey's been a state for the first state is Delaware.
Right.
Yeah, then New Jersey is one of the first states. One of.
Oh, so we've been a state for decades. Okay.
Been a state for a long time.
Okay.
Right after the American Revolution. Now, I wish they do something with Puerto Rico. I wish they say, okay, every year they have an election in Puerto Rico.
Mm-hmm.
It's either remain a commonwealth, become a state, or become independent. Now, the people keep on voting commonwealth because under commonwealth, the people are qualified to take advantage of all U.S. government benefits without paying any taxes. In other words,
that's not good.
Total 100% freebies.
Wow.
Now, under statehood, it becomes a state, and then everything that the poor and the low-income people have available to them here in New Jersey, they will have in Puerto Rico, which is great. But people have to pay taxes according to their income. Of course.
Are you saying is Puerto Rico turning into an American country too?
No, they're trying. They have this election, I think, once a year. So
Okay.
what they should do is they should say no more Commonwealth. You have to vote for either statehood or independence.
But we are independent as a country. We are.
Yeah, but Puerto Rico is not a state and it's not independent. It's a commonwealth. They have a commonwealth status, which means they're not going to get the help and assistance being a commonwealth like they would be in a state.
Oh.
But any rich people in Puerto Rico are going to have to pay their fair share in taxes, which is fine because they're rich. I mean, Jeff Bezos, the man with the head that looks like a dildo,
Mm-hmm.
Jeff Bozo Bezos he's made hundreds of $millions in profit in just 1 month during the pandemic.
Wow.
He doesn't pay. He owes so much in back taxes. He hasn't been paying taxes for a very long time. He owes an enormous amount of money in income taxes. But I think under the Biden administration, they will catch up to him, and they're in the process of catching up to all of the oligarch top 2% rich people.
Oh, so wait a minute. They're trying to go after the rich people now, Joe Biden and his...
Biden? Oh, yeah. The Republicans never went after rich people because they're rich themselves and they don't want to pay taxes either. And guess what?
Are you saying Democrats are not rich? I think there's rich.
No, they're rich, but they're willing to pay their fair share in taxes.
Oh.
Republicans are rich, but they're very stingy and greedy.
Oh, so there's two different parties on that situation, right?
Yeah, well, there's rich people on both sides, but I'm just saying, if they start paying the wealth tax, which is only a 3% wealth tax, big deal. I mean, President Eisenhower during the 1950s, the rich had to pay a 90% tax rate.
And that's Democrats' time, right? That was during Democrats.
No, he was Republican, and the rich had to pay 90% tax rate.
Wow.
But you had shit getting done. They were building the infrastructure then, the highway system. All these interstate highways you have now.
And that was only 40, 50 years ago, too.
Yeah, that's when they started all the interstate highways.
Wow.
And, otherwise it took forever to get around. But a lot gets done. And
you're saying there's a lot gets done when Democrats are involved.
Yeah, well, or better yet, when a progressive is in. But you know, the poor are taken care of. The homeless are, unless the homeless are mental patients and they don't want to be helped. You know, some of them don't want to be helped.
That's not their fault. That's their problem. I mean, it's their fault. But
Right, exactly. It's like what my friend says. If a person down south refuses to get the vaccine and they get COVID and they end up in a hospital and they drop dead, well, that's their choice.
well, I'm getting the vaccine, so I don't care.
Well, it's true. She was right. That's their choice. You know, if they want to be dumbasses and imbeciles and they don't believe in COVID-19, they think it's a hoax and everything. They think that they believe in these crazy conspiracy theories. They don't want to take the vaccine. Well, you know what? That's their life.
But you know, I heard that people have died from the vaccine, but is that true though?
Yeah, of course. 530 some odd thousand people
Have died from the vaccine?
a little over 500,000 people died. No, not from the vaccine. I'm sorry, from COVID-19.
Oh no, from COVID. I knew that, but I'm talking.
Nobody has been hospitalized. No one has been hospitalized or has died from the vaccine.
The only thing they might have had is not nervous, allergic reaction of some sort for 2 days or more. And then
most people get sore arm. They get a little bit of a sore arm for.
But that's with any vaccine, though.
Yeah, you can get that. You can get that from any vaccine. You know, like they get a boo-boo. You know, where they get the vaccine, it's a little sore.
Yeah, it's a little sore, get a little tender, and then a couple of days later, it's golden.
Right. You know, right. Sometimes it's only tender for like a couple hours. Some people have it for a day, but it doesn't last long. And some people don't get any side effects at all. You know,
but I also heard that the second vaccine could be like kind of like you have COVID even though you don't.
Yeah, some people feel absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. $4.99, viewers. I highly recommend the Crane Lake, California wines. They're all $4.99. And this one is really good. This sweet red is flavored with cherries, raspberries, and plum. I don't know why they call raspberries raspberry, because it's spelled R-A-S-P and the word berry, rasp. It should be raspberry.
No.
It's like, why is a vanilla and chocolate egg cream called an egg cream if there's no eggs in it?
I don't know. That's weird.
Yeah, isn't that weird? It's like many strange things. Okay, now all right. We might as well go right on to the mystical, magical copper divining rods, and to all you gentlemen out there, you jabronis, to all you jabronis out there who were supposed to be on my show and didn't show up, I have an itch, in the middle.
Oh, I think I get the itch. What you mean?
Oh, in the middle of my forehead, I have. Oh, that feels so good when I scratch my itch. Oh.
Yeah, but you know, I'm sorry about the other night, James. I did tell you, but I told you late though. But
No, I understand. I understand it, but you know, there are certain people who they have, not you. They have every day they post things. They have all these strong opinions. They post stuff on social media every day, every night, every day, every night. Sometimes they send me shit privately. But why don't they, like the old saying, why don't they put their money where their mouth is and come on a live stream show?
well, maybe they're just shy.
Yeah, live and in Technicolor. No. Instead of talking a lot of shit, you know, grow a pair of titanium balls and come on a live show on video and speak your mind like we do.
Right.
I used to have a friend. He was one of these macho guys. You know, he was a fellow weightlifter, and we started out doing security for pro wrestling events, and eventually I got involved with it, you know, and he would always talk tough on the phone with me until his wife came home from work. At that time, he was married. When his wife came home from work, he said, James, I got to get off the phone. My wife just got home from work. I said, so what? So what? You can't like give your opinion about things with your wife being around, with your wife hearing it. Like you know, he's all tough and everything, macho man, but because his wife came, he got all nervous.
Is he still around?
He's a bigger asshole than he was back then. Yeah, he's still around. He really is. He's full.
Was he ever on this show?
No. No, actually, no. He has never been.
That's shocking.
I just don't like people that only want to send me stuff privately. Like they talk my ear.
They don't want the whole world to know their business.
You know, they bend my ear privately. If they have so many great things to say, why waste it on a private chat? You know,
if you could tell the whole world, but then maybe they don't want to have the whole world knowing how they feel.
Well, but then their balls must be like raisins. Then they must have raisin balls. They got no couillons.
Give it up.
Because you know, once the private conversation is terminated, everything they typed, everything they've said, vanishes.
Not on Facebook. Not on Facebook. I've talked to you about some things, and it's still there. If I go on your stuff, it's still here.
Oh, all right.
It's still here.
It's there. It stays in limbo, right?
Yeah. If you click on it, you can hear it talk. You can hear you. I can hear you talk. I can hear myself talk. I can do all that.
Limbo, limbo stick. How does that song go? It stays in limbo. Okay. You had a question about Joe Biden. Well, you have a whole bunch of questions.
Damn it. I can't remember what I was going to say, too.
Will Joe Biden be in for another term, you said?
Yeah, thank you. In another 4 years. Is he going to still be president for 4 years, or is it not going to happen?
No. It's got to be a yes or no. Like,
oh, okay. Is Joe Biden going to be in for 4 years? The Biden rise. Yes.
Okay, so he's going to survive the first 4 years. And then the second part will be.
Will he be, I don't know, will he be in after those 4 years? Like literally after.
Win re-election.
Yeah.
Will Joe Biden win re-election? Yes. I got one. Will Donald Trump be insane enough to run against Joe Biden in, 2024?
Yeah, because we're in 2021 now, and then 2020.
2024, will Donald Trump be crazy enough to run? So that means does that mean that will Donald Trump go to prison within the next 4 years?
No.
I knew he was going to get off scot-free. Is it the corruption of our system that will not hold Donald Trump accountable for anything he's done?
Yes.
So that means if you're rich, you can get away with murder pretty much, right?
Yes.
So
divide and rides. Do you think Mr. Trump will ever be president again? No. Okay. All right. That's my answer.
Will Donald Trump ever be thrown in prison for everything he has done?
Yes.
Okay, so what you're saying, will it be within the next 4 years?
No.
So it'll take that. So it'll divining rods. It will take that long to convict Donald Trump,
Yes.
and
Wow.
and is it all because of political corruption and money?
Yes.
Son
Wow.
of a bitch. So what I said to Alex earlier, that if you're a regular person or a poor person, they'll arrest you immediately.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
See, so people, so the capitalist system of the United States of America is very corrupt now. Has it always been corrupt from day one? No.
No.
Was it? Would you say the corruption started after Lyndon Johnson? No. Would you say
No.
the corruption started with Richard Nixon?
No. I think.
Would you say the corruption started with Bill Clinton? Hi, Jeremy. No.
No. Wow.
Would you say the corruption started with G.W. Bush?
Yes.
Okay. Does this involve like Halliburton and Dick Cheney with the wars? Put on a credit card?
Yes. Wow.
And that's so divining rods. That's why the national debt. That's when the national debt became so astronomical.
Yes.
So it started with GW. No
A
wonder.
dividing. Okay.
Yeah, and Barack Obama couldn't. It was just too much for him to fix. And well, he had obstruction too. You know, he had the Republicans were in charge of I think the House and the Senate at that time. All
A
right.
dividing rides. How did
Jeremy,
COVID-19 start?
Okay. Hold on. Da, 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 da. Go ahead.
Dude, it's not going to ever talk, but man, I don't know. How did COVID-19 start dividing rides?
You got to do it in parts. Like the COVID-19 begin with this, with that. It's not going to talk to you.
Well, maybe you can answer my question then. But me, basically,
You know what?
want you.
Your question is very good, and I think the investigation of exactly where it came from has not been established yet. Has the true source of COVID-19 has it been established yet by our government? No.
No.
Okay. Has okay, so it hasn't been established. All right, hold on for a second.
Wait a minute. Has been established?
Jeremy, if you wanna. Oh, okay. All right. I was just gonna. All right.
What's that say? COVID-19 will be over?
Is the divining rods? if you want to come on, I mean, I'll put the link on. Divine Jeremy Vincent he asks, is the worst of the COVID-19 pandemic almost over? The worst. Okay, yes. Will it be this year, 2021?
Yes.
Would it occur, like Dr. Fauci says, by the end of summer of 2021?
Yes.
Okay. Would herd immunity kick in by the end of summer of 2021?
Yes.
Okay. Would the availability of vaccines be at a very optimum level?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So that's good. That's good. Hold on. Okay. The great musician Jeremy Vincent from Arkansas. All right.
You coming in, huh, Jeremy? Good.
Okay. I need you to promote your food show and a little of your beer talk while I go and blow my nose.
All right, do whatever you gotta do. Okay, so well, Food Friday. I'm gonna be doing pizza. Everybody can bring any pizza they want. I'm probably gonna bring Papa John's stuffed cheese pizza. I don't know about James if I've ever tried it. He should because he lives in New Jersey. I hope he has it. But I think James would enjoy the pizza. So that's what we're going to do on Food Friday. Any pizza you want and any beer you want to bring. And that's it. And looking forward to it. Especially when you have garlic sauce. That's delicious. Hell yeah. So, man, I'm looking forward to it. Food Friday.
Dun, 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 dun,
Big James is back. And stay tuned for Food Friday.
dun, 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 dun. All right. I am.
Well, you already showed me. There you go.
I am back. Thank you, viewers, both live viewers, dead viewers, and viewers that will watch us in the future because the show is being recorded. I've been doing these progressive talk shows since 1995, with originally with my first co-host, the Reverend Dr. William J. Eisenman, who has passed away a few years ago, and he had a newsletter called Newsletter Censored. But all of his readings are on audio on my YouTube channel. So everything he has ever done, he has narrated on video, on audio rather, which is on.
So where do I go to your channel? Is it?
Well, if you go to my channel and you look for Newsletter Censored archived shows.
Oh, you're talking about if I go to your playlist. Okay.
Yeah, if you go to the YouTube progressive discussions, and then you look for the playlists. I can have everything in playlists. Hold on.
Am I able to see his face?
Hold on.
Uh-oh.
I can't join. I'm actually on vacation right now with family. I just saw you was on and want to say hi. I appreciate that.
That's okay. I appreciate you, Jeremy.
Yeah, what's up?
He
says, "What's up, Jeremy?" Yeah, Nita Yori says, drinking a Gansett. A Narragansett beer? Drinking a Gansett. Hi, Nina. How you doing? Hey, how you doing, Nina? How you doing? Hey, how you doing? Show off a pizza strip.
Well, I could show pizza, but there's no pizza. I mean, I put this brick oven
pizzeria in Elizabeth, New Jersey. It's been around since I think over 100 years. It's like a hole in the wall. It's probably all word of mouth advertisement because the person doesn't promote anything, and I think it's only him and somebody else working there, but they're real famous, and you have to make an appointment. You have to.
Was that always the case though, or is it because?
No, it's not always the case. It's what it comes down to it is the cheap Italian guy that owns it doesn't want to hire anybody.
Oh.
And to promote your business, it costs money, and so he's too cheap to do that. Some of them are really cheap. These
But they end up being delicious food too.
Southern Europeans, they're tighter than the clam's ass. The Greeks too. Nice. He says nice. Jeremy Vincent says nice. Doing all right, Jerry. Doing all right, Jerry. That's not the way Nina talks. I just enjoyed what I saw of it. Nina, you already says. I always feel like somebody's watching me. I always feel like somebody's watching me.
So, James, I'm very happy that COVID's almost over, my friend.
Yeah, but don't count your chickens before they're hatched, because we have all these variants we're getting hit with. You know how bad Brazil is? Brazil is really, really bad. Their COVID-19 mutation is killing young people now in Brazil. And you know how fast? It doesn't take long for a mutation to travel the world and arrive in the United States. Okay, so we're not out of the woods. That's why it's important for them to get those vaccines out and for everyone to get vaccinated.
Yeah, but how do they know that?
Hold on. I have to reply. Thank you, Jeremy Vincent. I appreciate it. And in the words of Alex the Beer Master, I appreciate it. That's wild, Nina. I don't have that, but I have precognitive dreams sometimes, very freaky. I had a weird dream that I had to walk through a wooded area to get to some exotic specialty store. And all of a sudden, these pitch black wild boars were coming down the mountain in my direction. I wonder what the significance of black wild boars were. Were they demonic presence or something? I don't know. I'm sure no one falls asleep from boredom when in the presence of a boar. I don't think they're boring animals. You better get out of their way. That's all. Especially if they got those sharp tusks. Okay. Now, we also discuss risque things on my show. There's no rules. So if your dream, Jeremy, if you have any exotic dreams that you want to disclose to the universe, feel free. Copper divining rods. Is all this cancel culture a bunch of bullshit just to achieve power?
Yes. Wow.
Yeah. Now, Andrew Cuomo, did he just flirt and try to make a date with attractive young ladies because he doesn't have anybody in his life?
Yes.
So you agree Andrew Cuomo did not molest any female or sexually harass any of them? Okay. So he did not finger any of them at a party under their blouse. He did not try to diddle them. He wasn't a diddler, in other words. No, he was not a diddler.
No.
He was not a diddler.
But no, James, I appreciate you letting me talk. I just
No, go ahead. Oh,
I know I said I appreciate it because I just because the dividing line said COVID's leaving. What does it think about the other variants?
the
Is
other
they going to go
variants,
away?
there's more variants because guess what? All viruses mutate they
Right.
when they can replicate, and they can't replicate if
Once the
they don't,
vaccine hits.
if they no, they can't replicate if they don't spread.
Oh,
Oh, yeah. Hold on. Jeremy Vincent says, the great musician Jeremy Vincent, ask if there will be more virus as bad as COVID-19 coming soon. Yeah,
oh my
because
God.
we have a special guest. You remember the show, The Addams Family? Well, Thing, the actor that played Thing, just dropped in, and he wants to say hi. He has something to say. Well, let me take care of Jeremy's question, and then we'll interview Thing. Divining rods. Will there be more viruses in the near future or coming soon that is just as bad as COVID-19?
No.
Okay, so what you're saying, Divining Rods, is that do you think that the vaccine technology that we have now will go on to cure other very serious illnesses like they claim?
Yes.
Right, because they said the Pfizer, the science behind Pfizer and Moderna could lead to a vaccine that will destroy all cancer as we know it.
What do you destroy all cancer? Like meaning no more
Well,
cancer?
our immune system will attack immediately and destroy all cancer. They
So
mutate.
there's no so basically, James, no more viruses are going to happen at least for a while.
Yeah. Well, yeah, for a long while, according to the rods. They mutate their way out though eventually. Well, yeah, when they can't replicate, they cannot find another host. If they
But
can't
also, go ahead.
if they can't find a host, they eventually die. They have a lifespan.
Yeah, and the vaccine unfortunately is going to kill this virus supposedly, or at least calm it down to the
Well,
point.
yeah, like if as more people get the vaccine and herd immunity is reached, then the virus will spread less and less and less and less.
Wow.
And
Even with the variants too, right? That'll get less and
yeah,
less.
the virus it'll dwindle, it'll peter out, it will dwindle down. Yes, that's what I heard, James, that the technology they came up with will help out with other virus and even cancer. That's very true. That is very
Pretty smart people. Pretty smart people. Now, I watched a doctor on one of your streams, Mister James, but it wasn't your stream. It was somebody else, but it was on Facebook, and it was like a doctor, and he said that the vaccines are deadly. I don't know why this person said it. Let me see who it is.
maybe they're paid off to sabotage uh, getting
Not
back
here.
on its feet. Maybe the New World Order is paying them off.
This guy right here. Because I think it's from what's his name? I don't know who this. I think it's from Sambella. As you can see, it's from him, but like he sent the picture or sent the video.
Well, he's right wing. He's very right Republican. Yeah, he believes. They're so obsessed with their freedom. Their freedom. Well, guess what? They don't have the freedom to infect and kill other people. Just like you have a freedom to chain smoke cigarettes, but you don't have the freedom to blow your cigarette smoke in other people's faces.
True that. True that. Honestly, we should have the freedom to get rid of this virus, and which we do, and that's starting with that vaccine.
Well, listen to Jeremy Vincent. He got both his Moderna shots, and he never felt better. And we were I was listening to people who had long haul COVID-19 symptoms, and it went away with the vaccine. So Jeremy, yeah, congratulations, Jeremy got both his Moderna shots.
I can't wait to get mine because this way I can get it over with. Nice wine there.
All right, this is what I'm drinking now, Jeremy. Like the same company I brought on Ronald Terrio's show Wednesday, Crane Lake Sweet. No, this is a different wine, though, but it's the same company. Crane Lake. This is Sweet Red from California, flavored with cherry, raspberry, and plum. Also $4.99. Okay.
Hey, dividing. I was going to ask it something, but
Yeah. Then thing from the Addams family wants to say a few things. Hold on. Okay, go ahead, Alex.
Dividing rides. I'm curious. Will I ever get COVID-19? And then I have another question, and I'll be back. Said yes. I don't want the COVID-19.
Well, just wash your hands. You got hand sanitizer in your pocket when you leave the house?
Oh no, I always wash every time I go and eat and all that good stuff.
Okay, get a bottle of hand sanitizer, at least 70% ethyl alcohol or higher. All right, what was the other question?
Now, if I did get COVID-19, would I end up being in the hospital?
No. Okay.
No.
Okay. You got about a little over a month before you'll be eligible for vaccine. So what you got to do is
just do what I was always doing: wash my hands.
Don't be shaking anybody's hand. Don't try to talk to people at a reasonable distance, and just follow the rules and get that bottle of hand sanitizer. And take care of yourself until you're ready. Now, once you and I are eligible, May 1st, I hope we don't have to wait a long time to get our first shot.
Hope not.
Yeah, see, Jeremy Vincent probably works in the healthcare industry, possibly.
But that's what it should be. They should be done first, so they can be going.
Okay.
So how does the thing can come in now? But how does the virus know that I won't be in the hospital? I basically would probably get it and nothing would happen. Basically, that's what they're saying.
Maybe you have a strong immune system.
Oh,
people that were breastfed, have much stronger immune systems than those babies that were given formula.
Wow.
Because with breast milk, when a baby's born, well, any mammal, it doesn't matter. It could be a cow.
It doesn't matter who it is, yeah.
Oh, any mammal. Mammal from the word mammary, the breast. Now, any mammal, once it's born, including a human, in that mother's milk, in the first several days, a week, give or take, that milk has colostrum present in that mother's milk. Only for the first several days. That's it.
Oh.
And it's gone. But colostrum is extremely important in the development of that baby mammal's immune system. The immune system, okay.
Mm-hmm.
If that baby mammal doesn't get colostrum at the beginning of life, then the immune system will not be as strong and they'll tend to get sick often. So if you're the type of person that doesn't catch colds, doesn't get the flu, I've
only got it once. I've only got the flu.
Measles, the mumps, and the chicken pox, and the turkey pox, and the whatever, and the pigeon pox. If you have a strong immune system, like you ever see these people go out in the winter and they got a t-shirt on and they just don't get sick. Well, they probably were breastfed But anyway,
Because I've done it before and I've never gotten sick from it. The only time I got was the flu. I've had the flu, but that was it.
that was it.
Never had the flu. Yeah.
Hold on. I am an IT director at a hospital. We got to get it when it came out. Okay.
Oh, when it came out, which was a month
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah. My sister used to be in IT for a long time. Yeah. I made my own webpage. I don't really. It's sitting in limbo now, but I use the HTML coding and everything, and I designed and made my own webpage.
Where is your webpage now? I don't see it.
Oh, it's on Tripod.
Oh, okay.
Tripodlycos.com. Yeah, Tripod.
Oh.
All right, Thing. Come over, Thing. All right.
I love Thing. It makes me laugh.
Now we have Thing. We have Thing from the Addams Family. Now, Thing. I'm very happy to see you back on my show here, Progressive Discussions on Sunday. How do you feel about the topics of the show that we discuss? If you've been listening, how do you feel about it?
Sucker.
What?
Go fuck yourself.
Don't talk like that.
Motherfucker.
Oh, that's a terrible Thing. This show cannot be appropriate for children with you now. Thank you very much.
Ass liquor. Shit my brains.
Do you like Wild Card Wednesday?
Fucking idiot.
Do you like Eric Fraunfelter?
Screw you.
What about Ronald Theriot? You like him?
Fuckface.
Oh, shit.
Fucker.
What do you think of my show?
Yes, bastard.
I love it.
Sit on this.
What does he say here? COVID-19 was for what?
Did they ever prove the blood type made a difference in how serious COVID was for a person?
Wow.
No, I'm not aware of that.
Hey, lard ass.
Behave yourself.
Fuck you, asshole. Cocksucker.
All right, that's enough for you.
Go fuck yourself.
All right, goodbye. Bye. Thing from the Addams Family. He never behaves himself. He must be very disgruntled that the Addams Family was canceled, and maybe he doesn't get big residual checks, royalties. That could be it.
Do you think I'll ever be friends with Thing maybe one of these days?
Yeah, Thing is pissed off. He's probably disgruntled that he never got any more acting jobs after the Addams Family. But
no, I'm saying, do you think I'll ever be friends with him sometime in the future?
You want to be friends with him? I don't know. I'll have to. He needs some medication. He needs to get some Xanax or something. Now, I wonder where Eric Fraunfelter is. I think he's got work tomorrow. I think he's got to start work at like 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. Something.
Probably, yeah.
Because I didn't hear from any of these jabronis.
James, you're a trip. Give it up.
Jeremy, do you see what what's his name? Mick Von Raven put on Alpha Males, that girl where she was doing. He's probably mad he hasn't gotten invited to Stout Sunday. Oh, they usually invite him and send him a link. Who's Michael Komaroff or John Anilli usually sends him a link. Generally, I don't know if he drinks that early. I always thought he was very nocturnal. I don't know. he usually goes on Jesse's show, right? Jesse has a show Sunday night and Monday, Bumpy Road.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Thing is always in a bad mood. He's very disgruntled. You know, he needs some medication. I don't think Ronald Theriot would want Thing to be a guest on his show.
Well, that's kind of mean.
I don't think he would want that now.
Well, I think we might have to do that one day. We'll bring him on the show.
That would be disastrous. And then Ron can't get paid from YouTube.
Thing, would you like to join Ron Terrio's show?
Thing, you want to join Ron Terrio's show?
Cocksucker!
What?
Go fuck yourself!
Ron Theriot gets paid from YouTube, but it has to be very prim and proper. It can't be.
You know what?
I wonder what Michael Komaroff, how he would react. The Thing just dropped in uninvited.
I'll tell you, this is why I hang out with you, James, because you're a trip. You gotta have fun. You gotta have fun in life. You really do. And that's what you do. Where'd you get that anyway? That's cool.
No, that's Thing. That's Thing. He has a private jet that was left over at Gomez Adams. Well, that's if they had private jets back then. Gomez Adams and Morticia was using it, and it was so old they didn't want it, so they left the Thing, and he flew over. Now, you know, we have a lot to talk about on the food show because there's a few things I've been doing. My corned beef and cabbage came out really good. I put the videos and photos on the food group. Everything is food. Came out really good. My kombucha, my fermented kombucha tea has been coming out excellent. If you weren't 2 hours away, I got plenty of live kombucha organism to give you so you can make your own. It's growing like the blob in a horror movie.
Wow.
Actually, I did. Now, when I did the last video for kombucha, I put it on the group, but it's grown so much since then. I literally have 2 blobs now of this organism.
Wow.
But there's certain rules you have to follow in making your own kombucha. Stout Sunday. Now it's kind of early though, right? 10 a.m. to start drinking.
10:30.
10:30. Now, if you put raw eggs into a stout, that would be an instant breakfast for Stout Sunday, right?
I would, but then it wouldn't taste so good, I don't think.
Especially if you had Founder's breakfast stout, and you can put the raw eggs in.
Oh yeah, I have.
Oh yeah, my kombucha tea is heavy duty. There you go. I brought that on Wild Card Wednesday.
Good stuff.
What I do is I ordered the organic kombucha. They call it SCOBY, SCOBY, the living organism, from Amazon Prime. And since I got it originally, it was when I got it, it was one disc, like a cream colored or a light yellowish colored disc, about this thick and this round, right? Since then, it has grown.
Wow.
Just like the blob from the horror movie. I have 2, not just the one, I have 2 big SCOBYs. So I've been making, right now, I have a little bit left of the 1 gallon. I have 2 gallons in the refrigerator behind it.
Think one day I'll be able to try the stuff with you sometime.
I have 2 gallons. I could probably now if I use the Ziploc freezer bag, are they pretty much watertight?
I don't know. I can't help you with that one.
I could probably mail you a SCOBY, and you can make your own kombucha, but it will grow. But you can't use anything metallic. It's got to be plastic or wood. You can't.
Oh, then I don't know how to do that. Then you'll have to show me one day.
Yeah, it's something. Yeah, it's a certain. It's like taking care of a pet.
Yeah, you have to show me one day. You have to show me one day, and then I'll decide.
Yeah, it's a fermentation process where the SCOBY organism feeds off of the sugar that you put in the tea. You make a sweet tea with a cup of sugar and 8 tea bags of your choice.
Wow.
So what I do, I take a medium-sized pot. I just went blurred.
Yeah, it's been doing that. I don't know why.
That's that pencil neck geek that owns StreamYard. He's trying to mess with me. So
Do I ever get blurry?
No. And I think it's some people hacking James P. Madonna's words of wisdom. So trying to lay a little Sabatucci on me. So what I do is I take a medium pot, and then I bring it. I get a cup of sugar. You can use fancy. I use the turbinado sugar, which is dried cane juice. But you could use cheap ass, white sugar. Get a cup of sugar, water comes to a boil, medium pot of use like filtered water. You slowly stir the sugar into it. After the sugar is dissolved, you take the 8 tea bags of your choice and you put them in a pot. You submerge them. And I let it boil for about a minute. 30 seconds to a minute, just to get the essence out of the tea from the boiling water. Then I shut the heat off immediately and cover the pot and just let it. Don't touch it. Let it stay there until the pot and the water cools down to room temperature. Once it gets down to room temperature, I squeeze the 8 tea bags really good from the garbage, and then I pour all that liquid into a pitcher. I use a gallon pitcher from Walmart. It's either Sterilite or it could be Rubbermaid, whatever. And then I put the SCOBY in, and I pour more filtered water. I fill up the gallon pitcher. You have to leave the pitcher open so air can get in because it needs air. Then I just put it somewhere, room temperature, or I put it near the radiator so it gets some warmth. 7 days. I let it sit there and ferment 7 days. Then I take the SCOBY out, I put it in a container with a little kombucha that they call the mother. It's a starter. It should be in liquid. So you put a little kombucha in there just to keep it wet. And that's it. Just refrigerate it. And kombucha tea has naturally occurring carbonation. So it tastes like soda. So that's the magic. That's what I'm getting to. You have natural carbonation. So you are technically making your own soda. Plus the medicinal value of kombucha with probiotic bacteria, like similar.
That's what you're drinking now, right?
No, I'm drinking the wine now. Kefir and yogurt, and it has probiotics very high in it.
Wow. I'm taking off your what?
Oh, autofocus. Oh, I got you now. Yeah.
I need to ask Dividing Rods another thing about COVID. I know it's driving you nuts, but hey, this is interesting, you know, how these things know and how the spirits know. Um, I'm sorry,
Well,
James.
Bing doesn't know anything about COVID. How do
No,
you think?
Dividing Rods.
Oh,
Dividing. Yeah, Fing would probably say F yeah. Uh, um, Dividing Rods. I'm trying to think now what I was about to say now. Uh, is the variances now? I got it now. Is the variances of COVID going to hit the United States? No.
yes.
Oh, oh yes, yes. Oh no, it would go backward. It would go
No,
back.
it goes away from each other.
Right. Yeah. Oh, damn it. Do you think the variants will get worse or get better with the vaccine? Yes. Wow.
Get worse. Yeah, you can't say get worse and get better because then it would have to talk to you.
Oh. Oh, so I would have to say, is the vaccines going to destroy? Is it
In other
going
words, are things going to is COVID-19 pandemic going to get much better with the vaccines?
to?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. You just have to. You just can't be jumping all over your coworkers. You got to keep. You got to keep
Keep
protected.
it in line. Yeah.
Then once they say once you're vaccinated, you can be with friends and family that are also vaccinated.
But I've been with my family for the past couple months with no problem.
Yeah, you see, that's a tough call because you see, I live alone.
But I've been with the same
Now I do,
people.
but you live with family. Now I used to live with family, but we had to sell the house after mom died. We sold the house.
Mhm.
My sister's living with her boyfriend in their house. They have a house together, and yeah, so I don't have the traffic of family members coming in and out.
Well, it's only my brother. It's just
Yeah.
me and my brother.
How does he? How? What is his approach to the pandemic? Is he careful or is he like?
Oh, he's very careful. He goes to work and does his thing, and I go to my sister's every other week, like I've always done. That's all. And I just I just want to make sure that dividing rides will the variants get worse, or they're just going to get better after the vaccine? Are they going to ever get a chance?
In other words, will the variants make the pandemic worse before things get better?
Yes.
Now, with the Johnson and Johnson edition, Johnson and Johnson vaccine, and possibly the AstraZeneca. Now, would there be enough vaccines just with Johnson and Johnson, Moderna, and Pfizer? Will there be a sufficient amount of vaccines from three companies? No. Okay, so it will take the other two companies. What's the other one? Novak,
I think so. I don't remember.
Oxford AstraZeneca, and there's another one. So would it take the next two companies waiting in the wings to supply the world and the United States?
No or no? Okay, wait a minute.
All right. In other words, will it take more drug companies to supply enough vaccines for everyone?
Yes.
Okay, so there has to be more jumping on board. There has to be more companies. So it's, um, the other one I think is Novavax or some.
So how is these variants not coming into the United States? Is governor is what's his name stopping that? How is he doing that? Joe Biden. Because I haven't heard any more variants. I think I've heard one more. I think I've heard one variant out of all those variants that's in this country, I think. And that's it. I didn't hear anything else.
Well, how did the original COVID-19, the SARS-2 virus, end up all over the world? Took a plane. Ended up in Europe, not just Wuhan province. It ended up in Europe. It ended up.
What do you mean it took a plane?
It took a plane. How do you think these variants get around? They don't fly through the air. The wind doesn't carry them. They find a host, which is a human. They enter the human body. The human either stays in their country, in their hometown, or they take a plane flight. And when they
so as long as the variants of that person stays in their country, we shouldn't have to worry.
Well, they infect somebody who eventually takes a plane. That's how it gets around. This is why it's so important not to open up the flights. Okay, listen, Novax. There's AstraZeneca, and the other company that's in stage 3 trials is called the Novax COVID-19 vaccine. Demonstrates 89.3% efficacy. That's pretty good. And it was announced today. That's actually pretty good.
What do you mean announced today that it's going to be coming to the public yet, or?
Well, it's got to be approved by the Food and Drug Administration.
Yeah.
It's got to get the green light from them. But as far as their stage 3 trials,
they've been golden. All right.
Yeah, 89.3% efficacy for preventing serious infectious diseases, preventing the infectious disease.
Yeah, but that's what all the vaccines, right?
So it could be higher in regards to keeping people out of the hospital, because that's what the doctors are really concerned with. So the Novax, that's pretty good news, man. I mean, if it gets approval, that is really great news. Novavax. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
Novavax. Novavax. COVID-19 vaccine. Novavax. Okay, let me see if I got any. No.
So what do you think about? You should ask the dividing rides. I think we already asked it, but I don't remember. But is Joe Biden? Do you think he'll be right on the 4th of July? Because he said he will go back to normal at that time. And I want you to ask them.
Will the United States be a lot closer to normal by July 4th, 2021?
Yes.
Okay. Now, will the Novavax vaccine that is finishing up their stage 3 trials, would that be approved for emergency use by the FDA?
Yes.
Yeah. Now, do you foresee Oxford AstraZeneca to be approved despite the blood clot rumors? Yeah, because they didn't prove that the blood clots were caused.
They didn't prove it, but once they prove that's what it is, they'll stop it. But then people are already getting blood clots.
Well, it's such a small percentage
of someone.
They got the blood clots. They don't know. There's no proof that it was caused as a direct result of the AstraZeneca vaccine, as opposed to naturally occurring blood clots that people generally get, because it's such a small percentage of the population being tested.
Wow.
received the blood clots. But that's good news. I mean that the Novavax had very successful stage 3 clinical trials, and you know,
And I think we asked the Divine Minds already that is social distancing going to last forever, and I think it said no, if I remember correctly.
well, oh yeah, when you approach herd immunity, as more people get vaccinated, and let's face it, vaccines stopped all the pandemics of the past, except
Except in 1917 and 1918 and 1920. Well, no, it started in 17, but it got really bad in 1920. No, 1919. No, wait.
1918.
1918 to 1919, and then it stopped altogether in 19.
Well, right after World War One, when the troops came back from Europe, the conditions were so horrible. The sanitary conditions were really bad.
Yeah.
And that's where this influenza, Spanish flu came from. And then all the other flus, the bird flu, the avian flu from chicken.
I remember that. Mm-hmm.
China, and it killed young people too. And then there was the SARS-1 and the MERS. Now the SARS-1
disappeared once they hit that vaccine.
Well, as soon as they came out with a vaccine for SARS-1, it vanished. Before the first person was given the vaccine, they never got a chance to use the SARS-1 vaccine because it just went away. Dr. Fauci said it just vanished.
Could this just disappear as these vaccines keep coming out?
Well, it doesn't look like it. What's going on right now? What's going on in Brazil, and what's happening in Miami Beach, Florida, with the spring break idiots, the morons, the imbeciles on spring break that are just partying with no protection, and some of them are vandalizing and looting businesses and robbing from stores. I mean,
wow.
Really, I don't know why that fat moron Governor DeSantis of Florida, I don't know why he hasn't called out the National Guard, the Florida National Guard, because there's no excuse to be vandalizing and looting other people's businesses.
Pete, for some reason, when the nice weather hits, they seem to want to do that. I don't understand.
Well, this is the ghetto thug mentality.
Yeah, but I don't understand that. It's very confusing that they'll once this weather's nice, it's time to vandalize. Come on. Why do you do that?
It's time for the National Guard to fire some, rubber bullets and tear gas and no,
but I'm saying, don't you realize that every year this always happens for some reason?
It's
like a mob.
It's been happening with the younger generation college kids because they have this ghetto thug criminal mentality. They're really burnt out. Their minds are shot.
Like they're good all year, and then they decide to do bad things when the weather's nice. That don't make sense.
No, they're rebelling because the poor deers had to sacrifice some of their freedoms. My grandparents had to make big sacrifices during the Great Depression. They had to eat bread and onions at one time, and the people sucked it up and dealt with the Great Depression. They had to. They had no choice. All right.
And the way I see it, we're going to get our freedoms back. It's just we have to get rid of this virus.
It's a crisis. It's a crisis that happened because of bad decisions by political leaders. Donald Trump stopped plane flights coming from Asia, but he didn't stop plane flights coming from Europe.
From
Europe. And 2 million or more people flew to the United States during the peak of the COVID-19 pandemic from Europe. Over 2 million people flew from Europe to the United States.
Wow.
And Trump let them come here. He did not stop any of them because he wanted to blame COVID-19 on China and Europeans. He didn't want to enforce anything concerning Europe. All right, Jeremy Vincent. Yes, I don't think anyone who had the vaccines have needed to be hospitalized, which is the biggest benefit. Even if you did happen to still catch it, it's somehow afterwards. Yeah, nobody has been hospitalized or has passed away after getting the vaccines. Absolutely, and that's their main concern. Avoiding
And I'm
hospital.
happy.
If you avoid hospitalization, you avoid death. Unless you lock yourself up in the house to die.
Yeah, well, that's the only way you'll die. Anything else?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Now you have these people in Oklahoma saying they won't get the vaccine, even if Donald Trump told them to get it, because Donald Trump is from liberal New York City.
Yeah,
Okay,
look at Trump. He got the vaccine. He's fine.
he got it. Him and his wife got it, and his,
Right, but I'm saying, but they got the vaccine as well, or whatever they got after
yeah,
the fact.
and he said he recommends it. It's a good thing to get. He said it, but now they don't trust Trump for saying get the vaccine. They don't trust the government for saying anything. They believe in a lot of these people believe in conspiracy theories. They think that the government and the New World Order is out to enslave them and take
I don't
away.
think there is a. I don't think there is a new world order. I
They-
really don't.
They think the government's going to take away their guns, which never happened. Not even Obama touched anyone's firearms.
Yeah.
It's you know what? He just says that no one has been hospitalized or had any severe symptoms from the vaccine or
Which is
since
good.
the vaccine. Now, we're living in a mad world. I mean, not the world. The United States is crazy. We're the laughing stock of the whole world. We really are. I mean, they can't follow rules. They're so obsessed with their freedom. Even
Again, we will have our freedom back once this is calmed down.
well, if people are dropping like flies, then what good is freedom if all your friends and family are dying?
That's my point. You'll get your freedom back once everything is hunky dory when everybody's vaccinated.
That's like I created my little world, my little man cave. I have my hobbies. I have my hobbies, which includes my exotic plants and cacti and succulents. It includes my exotic pets. It includes my aquarium. It includes my exercise regimen. I have a little personal. I call it the Personal Training Studio 54. I have an area. I have a big living room, so I have an area set up with exercise equipment. And then I have going on the internet here with the live streaming. So I had to do it because if I didn't have hobbies and under this lockdown with no social life, I would lose my mind. I would go nuts. I mean, people talk against the smartphone, the internet, the social media, having apps on your phone. People say all kinds of things about it, but let me tell you, it really pacifies a person who is under lockdown. I mean, you can't go to a crowded nightclub because they're closed. Restaurants allow, I don't know, maybe 25% occupancy. And you're very limited as to what you can do from a social aspect. I mean, I haven't seen my friends in many months. So this is the situation we're in. So it's important to have good hobbies, not bad hobbies, like, you know, like you have your own, what is it, meth lab in the house. You're doing crystal meth. You know, I mean, nothing bad, good hobbies. I got enough fishing gear, tackle, lures, and my fishing pole. I got enough fishing equipment to last many lifetimes. My brother-in-law gave me a whole sack of brand new lures, never used. You know, all I have to do is walk 10 minutes, and I can do saltwater fishing. Ugh. So, I mean, I have the ability to keep myself occupied, you know, which really helped a lot during this pandemic. But it's come to the point where, you know, I like to have a woman over the house. You can't, doing video chatting forever is it's not gonna cut it. You know, you have to have interaction with other people. And I'm very happy that these vaccines that will bring her will help us get to that point. You know, I'm just telling you like it is. This surely is a great value. I mean, as far as wines go, I haven't seen anything cheaper in price than Crane Lake, California Crane Lake. $4.99 is a great price. And they have a huge selection of wines. They got the Merlot, the Cabernet Sauvignon, the Pinot Noir, the Shiraz. They got the white wines. They got various red wines, like I just mentioned. Besides the one I mentioned, you know, they got this one, sweet red. And then they have, what's the other one? Merlac, or so, I don't know, I forgot. The one I brought on Jay Terrio's show. I don't know. I don't think Jay Terrio gave his new show a nickname. I think he just called it Louisiana Beer Reviews. I don't think he really called it anything yet. Because Eric Kornfelter continued with Wildcard Wednesday, because Eric is the one who came up with the word, with the title, Wildcard Wednesday, or the title. So that's it, really. Let's see. What do I have to snack on?
I'm eating this.
I have to see. Well, I know how to make homemade popcorn from scratch on the stove. And I will be doing a video of how I learned from my ex-wife how to do old-fashioned popcorn on the stove. And it's easier than you think. You don't need any bag of flavored popcorn. You don't need any Jiffy Pop. You don't need anything, no microwaving popcorn. It's very simple. And I will do a video when the time comes, because I have to prop up my device, because I need to use two hands when I make it. Okay. I Oh, wow. Almost 2.5 hours we've been doing this show. You believe
Yes.
that much time has gone by?
Yeah.
Um,
And I'm sorry I drove you nuts about the COVID thing, but
yeah,
it's
no.
always fun.
Well, it's important. You ask important questions about a very important subject. I think if there's any more divining rod questions. I think we've put the divining rods to work during this show. I think that we really warmed them up to the point where they need some antifreeze before they overheat. And we asked a lot of questions, from COVID-19 questions to Andrew Cuomo questions to feminism to counter uh, close encounters of the third kind. No, cancel culture. I'm sorry. To cancel culture.
Like I said, I really enjoyed doing the show with you.
Well, I enjoy doing shows that are multi-topic and with no censorship and no rules, where everyone can speak their mind and say what needs to be said.
You know, we
Uh,
talk about all these things, but your videos never get taken down. How is that? Crazy.
I don't know. Now, I did have one video show get taken down. That myself and Mario Petrus did a show where he was talking about COVID, the pandemic being fake.
Oh, and that's
why,
what.
yeah, and the don't get the vaccine and all this stuff. So he's not a fan of Dr. Fauci or the government or anything like that. So what happened was, you can't put the word pandemic or COVID in the title of the show, because that brings up a red flag. There are certain red flags.
Yeah, but me talking about it, doesn't that give it a red flag?
Apparently not. Apparently they have their antennas up concerning the text, the text data that is in the show, on the show, like
Wow.
what is in text. Not, a person's not going to listen to every single video on YouTube. That would be like impossible.
Oh.
That would
Yeah,
be,
I think we've worked those divides. I mean, I'm really happy that we're going to be possibly going back to normal on January 4th. I can't wait for that. As long as everybody's been vaccinated from the original and from the variants. Without that, though, that's the issue. But once you have everything vaccinated and stuff, supposing the variants of the spin-offs, I think will be destroyed too.
yeah. I'm glad you used the term spin-offs, just like a spin-off of a situation comedy on TV. The variants are spin-offs, and all viruses do it. And but as long as they don't replicate or spread, and plus with the vaccines, that things can only get better.
So the spreading, you think these variances are spreading? Because I haven't heard any spreading of these variances.
Well, they sure are spreading. Not necessarily in the United States like they used to, but they're definitely spreading really bad in Brazil.
Oh, so the variants, the spin-offs were already spreading a while back when the pandemic first started.
Yeah, no, they've toned down in the United States, but the problem is they fear that the Brazil variant will eventually get into the United States, because people are dropping like flies in Brazil. And don't forget, we don't know what is going to. We don't know what the effect of spring break in Florida is
It's
going
going
to
to bring.
in South Florida, in Miami Beach. Well, they're leaving Miami Beach because the police are chasing them out, and they're going north towards Fort Lauderdale. But we don't know what the after effect is going to be of what they're doing. So,
Wow.
First we had the holidays, Christmas and New Year's, and then we had a surge because of that. Thanksgiving surge, and you had Christmas, New Year's surge, and now the spring break that we haven't experienced yet. We don't know what's going to happen.
We already had a spring break one point last year, and it was a surge. Wasn't there?
Well, you mean last spring break?
Yeah.
Yeah. There was a surge after the last spring break.
But that was before the vaccines came out, though.
Yes, way before.
So you expect a surge to happen then. There was no vaccines. I just hope I don't have to worry anymore, James. I don't want to worry anymore.
Well, I understand.
We have to get rid of these foreign countries that caused it.
No,
No one's done that.
well, nobody has been held accountable yet, and the real proven origin of COVID-19 hasn't been established yet.
Oh, well,
and
yeah.
Donald Trump is responsible, without a doubt, for the pandemic in the United States when he allowed over 2 million people from Europe to fly here.
Now, what about Joe Biden? Is he allowing people to fly here?
Nope. Joe Biden is forcing the rules. The rules are being applied to, and no, he's doing the right thing. I mean, I would have not allowed any plane flights during the height, peak of the pandemic from any continent.
So what's going on with the flights now, though? Are they still coming in and out?
Not nowhere's near like it was before the COVID-19 broke out. No, they're a lot less.
But where are these planes coming in? Because
There's social distancing on the planes. There's not many flights. Why do you want a lot of flights? Yeah, listen, you got to.
No, I don't want a lot of flights until things are back to normal. I don't want any flights.
See, Americans have to learn to suck it up and deal with it and sacrifice some of their freedoms.
My point is, I want the flights back when things are golden, not now, because you don't want the variants to come.
See, these kids, these millennials from college, the generation in the United States, the millennials, they are very entitled generation. They're very entitled. They feel somehow that they deserve everything on a silver platter.
Well, they'll get it when all this is
they don't deserve everything on a. No, listen, Alex. They don't deserve everything on a silver platter. They're not better than anybody else in this world.
No, nobody's better. Nobody.
American kids think they're entitled to everything.
Especially if they're rich.
They're coddled. They're fucking spoiled.
Look, I'm spoiled, but I'm not trying to be a jerk.
Their younger parents are afraid to say no. They took tantrums all their life. They got what they wanted.
I used to take tantrums when I was a kid.
Well, were you lavished with like all kinds of gifts for Christmas, like expensive stuff?
Well, not expensive stuff, but stuff that I enjoyed. I loved it.
Well,
like,
you got
like 10 to 64, so kind of fancy, I guess. PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4,
Oh,
but
gee,
it's all
you were a spoiled kid. Well,
girls.
it's already done. It's you can't go back in time. It's already done. So, but yeah, what I'm saying is, these kids are so used to it that
Right.
now that they have to give up their freedom for the pandemic, they're all going crazy. You know, they're like, you saw how they acted in Miami Beach on the news.
Yeah. You know, on the news when it first happened, hell yeah. I mean, it's just stupid. I mean, look, I said this, I'm saying this again. You'll get your freedom back as soon as this stupid pandemic leaves us alone.
Right. As soon as it's over, eventually, like Joe Biden says, life will gradually go back to normal. And we hope that the vaccines hang in there, and that there's no variant that's going to overtake the vaccine. And let's just hope for the best. Keep our fingers crossed.
Yeah, but if it does happen, they always make vaccines now, though.
They're always going to go back to the drawing board. And with this new technology that me and Jeremy Vincent were talking about, that
Heck yeah.
that Pfizer and Moderna is based on,
Yeah.
it opens a big door up to many other serious illnesses.
But you know, we've talked about this before. I thought they wouldn't want the illnesses to completely go away because they want us to be so they can make money, you know. And maybe not everybody, but is it true or no? I mean,
Well, actually, the government of Joe Biden forced Moderna to work with Merck drug company, and they're two opposing competitive drug companies. They're working together to produce enough. Not Moderna. I'm sorry, I take that back. Johnson and Johnson is working with Merck because Joe Biden asked them to, for the good of the country, out of patriotism, to save Americans. So Johnson and Johnson has gotten together with Merck, which is in New Jersey, to manufacture the Johnson and Johnson vaccine, so they would have more J&J vaccines available. And these are two competing companies.
And these are companies that don't like each other, but they had no choice but.
Well, because for the good of the country, just like FDR during World War II, they had car manufacturers producing military vehicles.
Well, that's what Donald Trump did months ago. He instead of their cars building, he said to the people, the car companies, "Hey, stop making cars, make masks." Unless that's bullcrap. I don't know if it's
I remember that, but I remember that because the hospitals were short. They were short of supplies. That was horrible. The hospitals were overwhelmed. I remember that. I remember those days. They were overwhelmed. They didn't have enough supplies.
Are they still overwhelmed today?
They were putting bodies in
trucks,
refrigerated trucks, trailers.
Mm-hmm.
No, they're not nearly as overwhelmed as they were back then. No, no, things are a lot better now.
Why? Because of the vaccine?
Because of the vaccine, plus more people are complying with the rules, with the masks and the hand sanitizing, the social distancing. It's a combination of things. It's a combination. But listen, I gotta talk to this friend of mine. We did the show long. So okay, everybody, thank you for joining us, and you will watch the pre-recorded show. If you're not here live, you will see us. Take care. Thank you, Alex, the Beer Master, and everybody.
Thank you, James.
In the cyberspace, and be safe and have a good week, because Easter Sunday holiday weekend is coming soon.
Hey, James, are you going to see your family for Easter?
I'm going to be at my sister's house for the Easter weekend. I'll be sleeping over, you know. And
awesome beans. Well, that means we won't be doing Sunday then.
No, I'll be. Wait a minute. No, I'll be coming home. Oh, Easter Sunday at night? No, I'll be home.
Oh, you're just gonna be there during the day. Okay.
I'm going to go there early Saturday. I'm going to spend Saturday with them. I'm going to stay overnight, and then we're going to have Easter festivities, and then spend Sunday afternoon with them, and then I'm going to come home and be home for the evening.
Oh.
And you know, we then I'll still be able to do the show.
Yeah, of course.
So
All right, well, I'll let you go do what you gotta do with your friend,
yeah, and then I'll catch you unless you're in bed. I'll be on the phone. You know, I'll be on Messenger and all that stuff. You know, and I'll see you, and then we'll talk. You know, we'll talk about when we're going to do a little food chat.
Normally, actually, believe it or not, after this, we normally do a food thing, but you have your friend now, so we'll do that some other time because you got your friend waiting for you. And I'm sorry.
Yeah, but she eventually has to go back to work or something.
Yeah, that's true. So I'll let you go. I'll let you go do that. Thanks for letting me join, and I will talk to you soon.
No,
Then
I'll see you on Messenger and see if you're still up. If you're sleeping, you're sleeping. If you're still up, you're up.
all right, my man. Peace
All right.
out.
Take care.
All right,
Bye-bye.
thanks.